Good morning. If you watched my first video, I first want to just tell you that I'm sorry. Wow, it was a mess. It was a lot of movement. I see that now, and I promise to work better on that. I wanted to get out here early this morning. Matthias was up late, just a little bit of motherhood. Matthias was up super late. Took a late nap, and I just put him in bed with me so he could listen to his podcast, but he doesn't lay still. So it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning before either one of us got to go to sleep. I don't know what time he fell asleep. But yeah, so I'm here this morning. I have my little helper. I have one of the grandkids already here. Matthias is obviously still sleeping. We're supposed to get a lot of rain this week, and it's supposed to start today, probably around 11 or 12. So I really want to get a couple of projects done in the garden before, say hi, before the rain comes. I have a trellis I want to put up. I'm going to actually give you a tour. There's a few changes in the garden since we last toured it. And I'm not sure if this is going to be big enough, but I got this container because I want to plant peanuts. So I wanted to do them in a container because they take 4 or 5 months. So I know they won't have time to finish outside. And I was just gonna take the container in the house to let them finish until they're ready to harvest. The goal, I just thought peanuts seemed somewhat easy. Me and the kids can grow them, and we could make peanut butter because we go through a lot of peanut butter. I also finally got, it isn't all the beans that I want, or all the plants or beans that I wanted to start again, but I got some zinnias. They say you can plant May to July, so those are nice pollinators. Some more bush beans. I know I said I really want to do pole beans, and next year I will. But I have a couple of good sized pots that aren't being used, and I think I'm just going to put the bush beans in there. I just grabbed some onions for the hubby and some beets because I couldn't really do much with my 3 beets. You need 5 even just to do a recipe for refrigerated pickled beets. So with that said, we are going to get started. I'm going to give you guys a little tour on what I have already done into the garden, and then and today I'm gonna put up a hog panel trellis for, I should probably let the chickens out too, or they'll just make noise for the video. I'm gonna put up a hog panel trellis for my zucchini and my squash, which isn't very common. Everything I watched kind of says you need to do them before, like when you plant them. But I'm just gonna hope for the best, and I'm gonna put it in there, and I'm going to gently try to start training them up across the trellis. Okay, so I'm gonna try to walk a little slower and not move you guys around so much. If you remember, I had all those rolls of snow fencing here. I also actually took that piece of snow fencing down. I actually was gonna attach it to the fence there, but I cut it too short, and then I took it down so we could mow and stuff. I'm slowly just laying cardboard down and then covering it with dirt. I just really want to kill off all this grass area. I started to put the snow fencing in the back, but I'm actually going to take it down. We're putting a fence up along the back of the property line, and it just seemed unnecessary to add that second fence when I can plant bushes and stuff along the fence line at the back end of the garden. The tomatoes are still going crazy. This one seems to be doing okay. I just really decided that I'm not comfortable. I don't want to move anymore. I'm just going to let these be what they are. I'm really just letting this year be a really good learning process. So I'm just going to let them be. But we do still have our kale. That's doing good. So here are the zucchinis and the summer squash, and the yellow summer squash. They are doing amazing. I actually could probably pull 1 or 2 this morning. So I have lots of squash coming in, but they're going everywhere. So we're gonna try to fix that. And then since the last time we were here, I put up a small piece of trellis. Kind of wish I would have gone bigger now, but at least they're climbing up something now. These are the cucumbers. These are the pickling ones at the end, so they'll be little. Well, that was rude. My phone cut out on me. These are the pickling cucumbers, and look, we have a little worker. He works hard in my garden. Anyways, and then these are the other ones, and I just have been kind of running them this way so they can crawl along the floor. I did decide to take the pumpkins out. Dayton is rummaging through their current area. So I did take the pumpkins out. I just stuck them in the ground over here. I added some coffee grounds and I watered them well because I know pumpkins take a lot of nitrogen. I honestly thought they looked really bad and they probably weren't going to do well, but now they're starting to, I feel like they're starting to pick back up. So I don't know, guys, maybe it's going to work. So the corn is not so tall like it should be. It's supposed to be knee high by July, and it's definitely, I mean, it goes to my knee. if you count a 5-foot person. The watermelons, we're just gonna direct them over this way, and then the squash. So I think I may end up putting the beets over here where the pumpkins were, because there's some empty space there. Well, we had a slight interruption because the farmers just showed up next door to cut down a big giant dead tree. So I went ahead and planted the bush beans in these pots over here with the help of the grandson. And now I'm going to put my tea stakes in and the trellis. All right, well, we got it in. I can't stand that it's crooked. I don't know if you noticed because the time-lapse video was really quick. I measured this side, but I didn't measure this side, and I just tried to eyeball it, so I ended up having to actually move the stake. But I now have helpers, so things are going a little slower. The rain has pushed back, so I'm gonna try to get as much done as I can, but I'm also I have the tree company out there doing that tree, so I have to make sure that the kids don't, get in the way of that. So that's always fun. Emma and I are going to plant some beets in this extra space we have here. So stay tuned.
This is the line right here. And it's gonna grow. It's on every strawberry. Goodbye.